All right, so you want to know why the South is calling in like the National Guard over a couple snowflakes?
Right.
Sweet tea and like snowmen, they just don't really go together, do they?
Not really.
But get ready, because even just a little bit of that white stuff can totally like flip things upside down there. We're talking states of emergency, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Even Florida and Mississippi.
Really?
Texas is getting ready too.
It's wild how we always kind of like think of regions by their weather,
Right.
But Mother Nature, she's got her own plan, and sometimes it's icy and headed straight for the beaches.
Yeah. So we looked into some weather reports and safety guides to kind of see what's going on down there, why everyone's freaking out. And let's start with the basics, the science of this whole winter weather thing.
Okay.
It's falling from the sky.
Yeah, the National Severe Storms Laboratory over at NOAA, they have some pretty good definitions.
Okay.
Like starting with snow, which makes sense, It's cold up in those clouds. But then if that snow melts a little bit and then freezes again while it's falling, boom, you've got
sleet,
little ice pellets, like nature's bouncy balls.
Yeah.
Except they make the roads super slick.
And then there's freezing rain, which is like rain that can't make up its mind.
Oh, yeah.
It starts out as rain, but as soon as it hits anything below freezing, it's like instant ice.
Ice rink.
Yeah. All over the roads, trees, power lines, everything.
Everything.
And that's how you get those beautiful winter scenes,
Yeah.
But it's also how you get black ice, and that stuff is way more dangerous than it sounds.
Black ice is like a hidden danger,
Right.
It blends right in with the road, and drivers can't even see it.
It's like nature setting a trap.
Totally.
Just waiting for you to slip and slide.
Exactly.
I think we've all had that moment where you're like, wait, that wasn't water.
Oh, yeah.
Not fun.
Nope.
Speaking of winter weather surprises, have you heard of lake effect snow?
Oh, yeah, lake effect snow. It's like, think Buffalo, New York. So you've got cold air blowing over the Great Lakes, right? Picks up all that moisture.
Okay.
And then dumps it all as snow on the other side of the lake.
So it's like the lake is making its own snowstorm.
Yeah, mini snowstorms.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing.
And just to make things even worse, you've got that wind chill.
Oh, wind chill.
Yeah.
That's the reason a 30-degree day can feel like 20 degrees.
Really?
Or even colder. It's that wind just like ripping across your face, taking away any warmth you had.
So it's like the difference between brisk and my toes are numb.
Exactly.
So we've got snow, sleet, freezing rain, wind chill. It's like the South is getting hit with everything winter has to offer all at once.
The whole shebang.
But why is it such a big deal down there?
Yeah.
Compared to like the Northeast?
Well, that's where this weather facts for southern states thing really helps us understand.
Right.
The South just isn't built for this kind of weather. Their roads aren't made for ice and snow.
Right.
And most people there have never even driven in that stuff.
Yeah, you can't just like put chains on your truck and be good to go.
Not really, no.
And it's not even just about driving.
Yeah.
Think about those beautiful old oak trees, with the Spanish moss.
I know, right?
Covered in ice.
Yeah.
That much weight can easily snap branches and bring down power lines, causing blackouts everywhere.
Yeah. And then think about the houses down there.
Right.
A lot of them aren't built with the same insulation as up north,
So the pipes are not used to that kind of deep freeze.
Not at all. And when water freezes, it expands, which means
Burst pipes.
burst pipe.
Flooding on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Talk about a bad day.
And we can't forget about the economic impact, especially on farming.
Oh, right.
The South is famous for its citrus fruits.
Right.
And those are pretty sensitive to the cold.
Yeah.
A sudden freeze could wipe out whole harvests,
Oh, wow.
empty shelves at the store, and higher prices for everyone.
So it's not just about a few snowflakes ruining everyone's sweet tea time. This is serious stuff with potential for major disruptions.
Absolutely.
It makes sense why everyone's taking it so seriously.
Yeah. It's a whole region dealing with weather they're just not ready for.
It's like showing up to a fancy party in your pajamas.
Exactly. It's not going to go well.
So now we get why the South is in a bit of a panic. But what can people actually do to stay safe during this crazy cold snap?
Well, the American Red Cross has got some really good advice on how to stay safe during winter storms.
Yeah.
And it's not just for folks down south either.
Right.
These tips are good for anyone, anywhere.
It's all about being prepared.
Exactly. Even for the stuff you don't expect.
Like having a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hope you never need it, but you're sure glad it's there when you do.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's not just about stocking up on snacks. It's about having a plan.
Right.
Know how you're going to stay warm, where you'll get information if the power goes out, how you'll contact people.
Staying warm is key, but it's not just about like piling on the sweaters. You got to think about keeping the heat in your house too.
Yeah, sealing up those drafty windows and doors can make a huge difference.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And extra blankets, you got to have those.
Like building a little nest.
Yeah, a cozy nest.
But if the power does go out, you got to be super careful with those alternative heating sources.
Right.
Space heaters, fireplaces, they can be lifesavers, but they can also be really dangerous if you don't use them right.
Absolutely. And make sure you have working smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors too.
Oh yeah, those are important.
Especially if the power's out.
Speaking of power outages, the Red Cross also has some good tips for dealing with frozen pipes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the ones that love to burst and ruin your day?
Yeah, those guys.
If you know it's going to get cold, let your faucets drip a little bit to keep the water moving.
Just a little drip. Yeah.
Like giving your pipes a little workout.
Yeah, keep them warm.
And if they do freeze, don't even think about thawing them out with a torch or something.
Oh, no.
That's asking for trouble. Use a hairdryer or hot towels. It's way safer.
Much safer.
Less chance of burning your house down.
That's a good thing.
It's all about thinking ahead and taking precautions.
Yeah, a little prevention goes a long way.
And let's not forget about the folks who are most vulnerable during extreme weather. You know, the elderly people with disabilities, folks experiencing homelessness.
Yeah, they're the ones who really feel the impact of these kinds of events.
It's important to check on your neighbors, offer help.
Absolutely.
It could really make a difference.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that behind all the weather reports and the safety tips, there are real people dealing with real stuff.
It's easy to get caught up in all the details.
I know.
But these states of emergency, they're not just about numbers.
No.
They're about families and communities and people helping each other out.
And we see it all the time when things get tough. People come together to support each other.
It doesn't matter if it's a hurricane, a flood, or a snowstorm.
It's that human connection that gets us through.
Sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference, you know?
Yeah.
A warm meal, a helping hand, shoveling snow, even just a phone call to check in.
Absolutely. Those small acts of kindness can mean the world.
So we've talked about the science behind this southern snowstorm, the dangers and how to stay safe.
Right?
But there's another side to all of this.
Oh, what's that?
The magic of it all.
The magic.
Come on, you gotta admit, there's something kind of enchanting about snow.
Even when it's causing chaos.
Even then.
I guess so, especially in places that don't see it often.
Exactly.
There's a certain wonder to it.
It's like a whole different world.
It transforms everything, brings people together, and makes for some pretty amazing photos.
It reminds us that nature is full of surprises, good and bad.
Yeah.
And sometimes those surprises can be pretty breathtaking.
Even if they come with a bit of a learning curve.
So while we're all hoping for a quick thaw down south and a return to sunshine and sweet tea,
Right.
let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of this unexpected winter wonderland.
And maybe build a snowman or two if you're lucky enough to have some snow.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
What are the key takeaways for you, our listener?
What surprised you the most about this whole southern snow thing? Was it the science behind the different kinds of winter weather?
Yeah.
The fact that a region not used to dealing with snow and ice is so unprepared? Or maybe those heartwarming stories of communities coming together to help each other out?
And how has this deep dive changed your perspective on winter weather?
Yeah.
Do you see it as a powerful force of nature, something to be respected,
Right.
a challenge to overcome, or maybe even a source of unexpected beauty? It really makes you think, like a little snow in a place that's not used to it.
Right.
It can really mess things up.
It's a good reminder that we're all connected, you know?
Yeah,
What happens in one place can affect everyone else.
right. Like those citrus crops we were talking about.
Exactly.
The freeze in Florida could mean like more expensive orange juice in California.
Totally.
And it's not just about geography either. It's about being prepared.
Right.
We can't always know what Mother Nature's going to do, but we can be ready for it.
Be prepared.
It's like having an emergency kit for life.
Oh, I like that, an emergency kit for life.
Yeah.
What would be in yours?
Let's see, duct tape, for sure.
Okay, good start.
A good book, a sense of humor,
Love it.
and maybe a recipe for some amazing hot chocolate.
Nice.
What about you?
Well, I gotta have a headlamp,
Yeah.
especially if the power goes out.
Right.
A first aid kit, of course, and maybe a deck of cards.
For those long nights with no Netflix.
Exactly.
And don't forget about those connections with your community.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
That neighbor who can help you shovel the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Or just make you laugh when things are tough.
It's all about having a good support system,
Yeah.
Family, friends, neighbors. That's what matters.
Knowing you're not alone when things get rough.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the South's snurdy adventure, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I hope they're inspired to think about their own preparedness,
Yeah.
not just for winter weather, but for anything life throws their way.
And maybe the next time they see snow,
Right.
whether it's in their backyard or on TV, they'll remember that there's more to it than just what they see.
Yeah,
It's a reminder that nature is powerful and unpredictable,
absolutely.
but also incredibly beautiful.
Well said. So until our next deep dive, stay curious, stay informed, and stay prepared.